Today, we're going to talk about the 4 steps to confidently creating your coaching offer. I'm going to answer right off the bat what most people think an offer is. Most people think an offer is 6 sessions for this price. People will say to me, my offer is this. Do you like it? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'll tell you why I say that and why I answer that. Sometimes I feel like I'm being a smarty pants when I say that, and I'm not. But you'll see why. I'll explain what I believe an offer is. 4 steps to confidently creating your coaching offer. My goal is to have you feel empowered after you leave here because you know you're making a good offer. We surveyed coaches in general that were in our audience, and I was so surprised because I would have guessed that the number one complaint or concern or question was niche. I'm unsure about my niche. Turns out the number one thing was, I don't know if my offer's good. And I remember thinking that if my offer wasn't good, I wasn't going to get people. That was the thought in my mind. I'm not going to get anyone, which first of all, just the thought of getting someone just sounds horrible today. Now, I don't want to get anyone. I want people to want to work with me, and also just the idea that I don't want everyone. I don't want to work with everyone. I only want to work with the people that are meant for me. And if you have a really clear offer, the right people will come to you. That's a different way to think about this. Another thing that comes up is imposter syndrome. And I hear this often. And I just want to tell you that by the time that we're done today, and I explain to you how I think your offer should be put together, you will not have imposter syndrome because your offer is going to banish that. You'll see what I'm talking about, but I want to make sure that it's an offer that nobody has suggested that you have, even me. It's an offer that you know you can deliver. This is the key. You know you can deliver that offer. When you have an offer, and I'm going to explain a lot of this, I'm telling you things that you don't know yet, but when you have an offer that is designed by you with your skill set, and I know we have multi-passionate women here who have taken all kinds of courses, who've worked with lots of coaches, who've studied all kinds of things, who've read all kinds of books. Then you add in some of you have lots of life experience. All of those things is what you will use compiled together to create your signature process. I love this idea that even if all of us went to the exact same certification, which we don't have to be certified to be coaches, but if we did all go the same certification, we all tested out, we all got 100 on our scores, Linda and I would coach completely differently. Dr. Cheryl and I would coach completely differently because I bring my own whole life of experience. My brain is processing things and saying things and considering things in a different way. And truthfully, it's considering things differently day to day. So we want to create an offer that you feel really good about so you don't feel like you're an imposter and also so you can sell it. One of the biggest challenges that I see with offers is people aren't making any offers. They're not telling people about what it would look like to work with you. My offer is unique, and that's because it's directly created off of what I know I would have wanted. So I answer direct questions. I teach tech. We literally just finished a call where I share my screen or the client shares their screen and we walk through exactly what the challenges are. I offer shortcuts anytime that I can. This is just to point out what makes my offer different so that you can be thinking about your offer. I always say to people, look, I'm going to shoot straight with you. If you pay me money and you ask me a question or you show me something, an email you've written, or you show me your website, I'm going to give you honest feedback because I know that at this point, I know more than you do, or you wouldn't be working with me. So, what would your page say about what would make your coaching unique? What would you bring unique to your niche? I guess we could say. When you understand how to make an offer that is aligned with you, then you will actually make more offers. It's inevitable. When you make more offers, you will make more money. They go hand in hand together, and you will have incredible testimonials. This that I showed you right here, if you were to read this and you were to go to this, you would be able to read the testimonials that say the same thing. So that's another really important piece. When you're clear on what you do, wow, Debbie answers all my questions. I'm sure I don't remember which ones I put on here, but I'm sure it says that somewhere in there. She told me what to do. So make sure that everything is aligned because that's also how you build your business because, wow, she did what she said she was going to do. The mistakes that you are currently making, we'll go through those real quick. But I want to tell you what my offer is. Again, by example, so you see, my offer is to help you get clients for your coaching business. That is the number one thing that people say to me when I meet them. I'll say, "What is it that you want? What is it that you need?" "I just need to get clients. I know everything else. I just need to get clients. That's the only missing piece. If somebody else could just get me some clients." What is the words that your person says that's like that for me? You're thinking, "Oh, yeah, I do just need to get clients. That's all I need." What is your person's "That's all I need"? Then people say to me, "Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at the tech. I didn't grow up with computers like everybody else did. I'm terrible at this tech stuff." And that's the second thing. And then the third thing is like, "I don't want to have to put all my life on social media." But whatever your things are, those are the things that I want to help you with. And I know that those are things that I can help you with. I know that those are the things you want, and I know those are things that I can do. How would you fill in the blank when we thought about your person? Your person would what? What is it that they want? Just jot this down, whatever's coming up. What is it that they want? What is it that they want to have? What is it that they want to change? What do they want to accomplish? What do they want to solve? People are going to hire you to solve a problem. People are going to hire you to move them from wherever they are to wherever it is they're trying to go, right? So, important things for you to be very clear about, which is why, again, I just showed you that example. Three things I know everybody says that I talk to. So, the three mistakes that you are currently making when we think about your offer is that you believe people want to buy coaching. And then you're like, wait a minute, this kind of doesn't even make sense. People don't want to buy coaching. They don't want to buy 6 sessions for $1,200. That's not what they want to buy. What they want to buy is the answer to their problem. Everything that I do in some way, shape, fashion, or form has to do with marketing because you have to be able to talk about, and marketing is just talking. Marketing is just having a conversation with people about what it is that you do and helping people understand that. So they want to buy their way out of whatever the problem is. And they, if the problem is named and identified correctly, they will buy their way out of it by hiring you. The second mistake is we try to make an offer that everyone will say yes to. First of all, if you are not clear about what you do, you're probably not going to get anyone. That's just the truth. So you need to be super clear on what it is that you do so that the person who engages with you says, "Oh my gosh, she is talking to me. I understand this." So when you make an offer, and we've heard this stuff before you, but I really hope it sinks in. We've heard somebody say, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to nobody. But I'm reminding you again, if we're talking to everybody, we're talking to nobody. So for those of you that are career coaches, it's like career, what kind of career? Are we talking engineers or doctors? Are we talking to attorneys or general managers of Walmart? Like there's such a big variety there. Are we talking to people that are over 60? They're trying to stay in the workforce? Are we talking about college kids that are getting into the workforce? There's so many subtleties of how you make your offer narrowed down to be talking to the right person. Who is your favorite client? Maybe you're saying, "Debbie, I haven't had any clients." If you could have your dream client, like who would she be? Because you want to create an offer that calls in your dream client. I love action takers. I want to work with people who are like, "I'm ready to build a business. Just tell me what to do. I might be scared, but I want to do this and I want to do it right." That's what my person is saying. They're like, I don't want to mess up. I want to get it right." So who is your favorite person? The offer is not based any shape, fashion, or form on what your competitors are doing. In fact, I recommend that we don't look to see what our competitors are doing. And I honestly have no idea what anybody else is doing. Occasionally, when somebody that works for me starts to tell me about somebody else, I'm literally like, "Law, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what anyone else is doing because I want to feel good about my offer." And occasionally I'll stumble across somebody else by accident, like on Instagram or something, and their post will say almost exactly what mine says. And I'm like, "Whoa, how did that happen?" I don't want them thinking I copied them or did they copy me? I don't know. But I always say there are no original ideas out there. So I think just keep your blinders on, pay attention to what you're doing, and create an offer, which is your offer is to help people with specific problems. So create an offer that we know you can deliver. The third mistake is thinking that you're going to get the right number of sessions that will help people say yes. A coach that I worked with some years ago at the life coach school. She used to use this analogy that while we think sometimes as coaches, if we give all this extra stuff, like they're going to feel so supported. If we say, oh, we're going to provide you accountability and I'm going to be available for this and we're going to do this and this. In reality, what people want is the shortest amount of time. They want the shortest amount of time to the outcome that you're going to give them. So the right number of sessions is the number of sessions that somebody needs to actually do that. We work with clients for 6 months. And while that might sound like, oh, yeah, a lot of people do 6 months. That's true. A lot of people do 6 months. But mine is 6 months because it is exactly mapped out according to our process. And it gives 2 weeks extra in the 6 months. So it's exactly mapped out with how many weeks people need to digest and do that and to be working with clients. That's what we want to happen during the time that we work together. So you pick the right number of sessions based on what it is you're doing with people. People want results. They don't care how much time it takes. If I could get somebody a business built in a day, I'm sure a lot of you guys would be like, sign me up. That's the way I want to do it. One day in and out. So I'm going to walk through the framework for creating the perfect offer now that we've talked about all the things you don't want to do. So alignment is key in everything in your business. And it all starts with the niche. The niche is the cornerstone of everything that you're creating. So if you really understand your niche client and you're really clear about that, you really know what their problem is, then it's just going to flow. There's going to be a solution that you deliver, and then you'll know what the timeline is. So when we think about the first step around getting clarity around your niche's problem, I want to emphasize that we're not going to get clear if we ask AI. Well, a lot of you guys might say, oh, yeah, we know that. I also know that a lot of people are doing it because they come and discuss it with us. I'm not saying don't use AI because we even have GPTs that help with niche, that help with several of our steps in our program. So we have GPTs built for that. But the main thing that you're going to understand about niching and what people's problems are is by having conversations. You're going to have so much better of an understanding of what somebody is actually saying, or just even emotionally, what seemed to be the big deal to them. I think the most important step in this part to remember is whatever we're coaching on, we're the evolved version of that. And we often forget. Sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, I didn't give enough or do enough and then somebody will give some comment about something that's so basic. Oh, I love that one thing that you did. And I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm like, what do you mean they didn't know that? We forget how basic we need to be with our clients. You need to name the biggest problem. You want to not have what I call a fluffy problem. I say fluffy niches. Oh, let's have your best life. No, nobody's going to hire you. I shouldn't say nobody. There's exceptions to every rule. But what I like to consider is who has the most urgent problem, because the people that I work with, for the most part, want to make money. And urgent problems are things that people want to solve. If we think about living your best life, while that is so much fun, it could be like, hey, as soon as summer's over, I'm going to get on that because there's not a big urgency around that. Or the first of the year, I'll talk to you about that. We don't want that. We want the thing that is the problem where somebody is like, yeah, this is this today. It's a struggle and I need to be fixing it today. The next very important question is whatever you think your main problem is that you're going to build the offer around, do you know somebody's going to pay to solve it? Not you thinking it's a fun idea, not you taking the thing that you're interested in, that you've been reading books on or watching videos on, but do you know that somebody will actually pay for that thing? And I have to be honest and say, the coaching world is very deceptive, probably not on purpose so much, but our brain looks at anybody and it's like, oh, she's making millions. Her thing is good. And I can tell you for sure, I get on calls with people sometime where I'm like, what are they doing getting on a call with me? And then I find out they haven't made $1. You can dress yourself up, like your business up, to look so good that don't be deceived by the fact that you think there are other coaches doing this, so this must work. We don't actually know if they're making any money. Let's be honest about that. So make sure that you have that conversation again and that you really understand. Is this something that you would be willing, not, you don't have to pay me, but is this something you're willing to pay for to get a solution to? Are you that desperate for help that you're going to pay out of pocket for something like this? And you want to get a yes or a no because you'd rather know right now so you can get the right need. And then just making sure that whatever their problem is, they really say that they have, can you really do it? Nowhere today will you hear me promise you that you're going to get a client by a certain day. That is absolutely not anything I can promise and nobody else can promise. I don't know once we get off this call what you're going to do. I can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee that I'm not going to go eat Oreo cookies if I'm a promise a certain amount of weight loss. I could even write it on a sheet that I didn't eat them. So just be careful about what you're saying. So a critical step to avoid imposter syndrome is to only coach on what you know. Only. So do not say, I can help you do some particular thing that I need to go study on. If somebody's like, what about this? If it's something you're not sure about, it should be, I'm sorry, that's not something I work on. The second step is to define and really understand this problem. Like, how do you talk about it? Why do they want to solve it? And why now? This is all part of the way that you're communicating your offer either on social media or today when you're talking to somebody, wherever you're communicating and marketing. You have to be able to describe it in a way that is better than they can say it. Like the thing that woke them up in the middle of the night and they didn't actually put words to it. That's what you want to say. Let's say the woman over 60 who's looking for a new career and she is literally like, I'm never going to get hired. I'm older than everyone. And how can I make myself look young? And what if they look up and see what date I graduated high school? What's the things that she is thinking that are spinning that she's ruminating on? What is your person ruminating on? That's the question that you should answer. And that's the way you describe it. And then what's the cost of that? The longer that you wait without looking for a job, using that example, what's the cost of that? So emotionally, mentally, and financially, you want to describe. And the third step is to create your signature solution. I love, love, love this idea of you having your own exact offer. My program is called the Business Building Boutique, and we utilize the Profitable Coach framework. We have exact signature offer, and it makes me stand out. People know exactly what it is, and they want to engage with me because she has a path to getting clients. So you're going to create your own signature offer. You want to be the expert, and I can say for sure that I'm the only expert in the world on what I do because I thought out what the solution was. And none of this is me bragging on my thing. I'm just trying to prove to you guys you can all create your own signature offer. And if you own it like that, can you see how much easier it would be for you to market it, right? For you to be able to talk about it if you're like, look, I'm the only one who does this. And that is exactly what I say. I'm the only one who does this. So, with that in mind, this is how you would map out your expert solution. You want to think about it from your client's point of view, not from your point of view. I already mentioned this. There's that you that knows a lot, and then there's the client that knows nothing. So, when we go to map out the offer, what is it that you need to help people with that the client doesn't even know they need help with? Or what are you not thinking they need help with that they do need help with? Something along that lines. So I always say, I'm going to teach you, tell you, show you, guide you. I'm going to coach you on building a business. So what is the transformation and what is the way you're going to do it? We had a client in the last hour who said, the kind of coaching that I do is I just show up. She does like life coaching. And she's like, I'm there. And then they come to the call and bring whatever's happening. That's great, right? She still needs to look at, okay, if I'm going to coach people just on whatever they bring to the call, right? Just come and you bought 12 sessions from me and I'll help you with whatever. That's fine. But what are the main things that your person is going to need help with? Your ideal client. So this particular person works with therapists. What are the things that therapists, the common denominators that therapists have? I don't know. I'm not a therapist, but I could come up with a bunch of ideas. But even if she's not coaching on those, the reason why you want to have that is because this is how you market it. If I say I'm going to help you with niche and offer and pricing and marketing, and then you know what I do. And that's also what I teach you in my coaching. But even if you're a general life coach, you still need to understand what the things are because you have to sell it. These are some of the examples of our clients' roadmaps. Everybody creates a roadmap of what their offer is going to look like. And typically they have a name to it. The Blended Family Blueprint. I thought that one was so good. Healthy Eating Freedom. Sometimes they do with an acronym. Sometimes they come up with a name. whatever it is. It's just a way for you to be able to talk about your business. The profitable coach framework is what we have. It's the 4 steps. And this is what mine looks like. So the profitable coach framework is the 4 pieces that fit together to have a profitable coaching business. But inside of that framework, when you come work with us, there's a whole guide that you follow, right? There's several steps. These steps are fit into each one of these categories. So on the front end, I mostly show this. Once you get into the program, these are all the things that I actually go through that's part of this program. If you were going to outline the time to a transformation, how would you know how long to figure out somebody needs to work with you to get whatever it is you're saying they're going to get career clarity and know how to get hired? How long would that take? How long do they need to get their LinkedIn profile updated, to be able to know where they search for jobs, to create a new resume, to learn how to interview? How long would that be? That's how you figure out what the timeline is. So once you have your process mapped out, you go through it and you're like, okay, for my process, I'm like, okay, how long does it take somebody in step one to really get through that and to really understand that? I'm like, 2 weeks. Step two, how long does that take? 1 week. Step three, this is the way you figure out how many weeks somebody's going to work with you. So if you are doing just open coaching and you don't have a step by step process, then you should have some ideas of what every person that you work with is going to need to understand. And how long would it take you to get their family organized, to manage their career better, whatever it would be? What level of support do you want to offer? Because that will speed up the process or slow it down, one or the other. If you're going to map out the timeline, obviously, if I met people 4 times a week, we'd go through it much faster. How often do you want to meet people? I thought, wouldn't it be so fun to actually coach somebody in 2 weeks? Let's say 5 days this week, 5 days next week, and you're done. That'd be kind of cool. But do you want to do that? I don't know if that fits with your niche. And then it depends on what kind of support you're going to give them. Are you going to be available for text messages? Are you going to review things? Are they going to journal and you read it? What are you going to do for them in between? And how could you speed up the process for them? One of the things that we do is whenever somebody asks me about what would that email look like, I give them one that I have that's exactly like it. And you just copy mine because that speeds up the process. While mine's not going to be word for word what theirs would say, it's a great example to follow. So just follow my example and it will speed up the timeline. So your timeline is going to look like this. Whatever the steps are that you're going to take somebody through, then you're just going to decide how many weeks does it take? How many weeks, if you're going to assess something, almost every one of you is going to have assessing in the beginning because you want to find out like where are they at, what's happening, what brought you to this place, what is it that you want to accomplish, how long are they going to do that? So whatever would fit for you, this is what you're going to decide how many weeks it takes to get to the end where they have the result. So you can map it out that way as well. And then the final answer on your offer about how many weeks, honestly, only you know that. How many weeks does it take? Only you know. One thing to consider is how many times are they going to get stuck? How many times are they going to change their mind? How many times are they going to ruminate on something? How many times are you going to uncover something new that they weren't expecting? So the timeline is the number of sessions, but the offer is to deliver the solution. The timeline, the number of sessions is details. So I don't lead with, hey, hire me for 6 months. I don't say that. I say, work with me to build a profitable coaching business. And then the details are, we're going to meet this time. This is what I'm going to provide you. This is how many weeks it's going to be, that kind of stuff. Okay. Once you have it mapped out to their results and you have the timeline, then you have an offer that works. I love to point out to people that coaching is a luxury. Nobody has to buy coaching. So this is why I'm saying you have to know what the painful problem is. People have to be willing to solve it, right? They have to have the money to solve it. You cannot sell your coaching to broke people. You got to sell it to people who have the extra income to invest. The problem's got to be urgent enough that they don't put it off. You don't want to be in the arm twisting business. I don't want to twist anyone's arm to work with me. I want people to see the value, see that they have a problem, and want to come work with me. Make sure that you check all of those boxes. The opportunity is huge. Every single time I go and look at stats, on what is happening in the coaching world, it's like in 2026, the stat that I looked up last week was $1.6 billion worth of coaching sales in 2026. I don't know where they get these, but let's just say it was a billion. I literally did the math and I was like, 40,000 coaches could be making a good living if it was only a billion. That there's a lot of opportunity there. There really is. So when we think about your offer that you've just created, then you get to ask yourself these questions of how do I want to coach? And I really want to encourage you that it can be any way you want. It doesn't have to be one way or the other way. Like I mentioned to you, you could coach somebody for 2 weeks, 5 days this week, and 3 days next week. And that could be it. You could coach somebody in a group, but you could also offer private accountability sessions. I offer private onboarding. We have actually added private coaching on to if you want to buy a private session with me, you can. But we offer times when we touch base with people. So I have a hybrid. We review things, we do things. What is it that you need to do to be able to support your client? And honestly, this goes back to timing. How much time do you have? If this is not your full time job, and I know for a lot of you guys, you are working full time, you're either going to choose to work with 3 clients a week because that's all you have time for, or you're going to choose to say, I'm going to do a group. I'm going to do a group, and that's how I'm going to help people. I do want to mention membership. Membership is not probably the best. While it sounds good, most people think of a membership as being something that's super affordable. The one thing I want to mention to you guys is that with a membership, it's called a 50% churn rate. It means half the people come in and go out every month. So you really have to have a lot of people in your world, in your program to be able to make that work. So that's another thing to consider when you think about your coaching business. All right. So the recap is you have to know your niche and their problem very clearly. Talk to people. Okay. You have to be able to define what it is because you have to market it. You have to explain it to them, then create your signature offer and then outline the timeline. So it's completely flipped upside down to what most people think. Most people think their offer is the time first. You're giving how many weeks you're going to work with somebody. And for me, that's the last step. So your offer, could you sell it? Is it an offer that is perfectly suited for you to sell and deliver? Do you know how to sell it? Do you know how to have a comfortable conversation? Do you know how to have a consultation? Do you know how to get to that place where you're going to say to somebody, this is how much it is, and actually get them over the line to paying you? The other thing is, who are you going to sell it to help you not be disappointed in what's happening in your own business? I want you to be realistic about if you get a consultation with somebody, not everybody's going to buy from you. And I know it sounds obvious right now, but I also know that there's a lot of disappointment. And even our coaches that work with us will be like, dang, I had a consultation, I didn't sell them. Okay, you can be disappointed, but in reality, you might need to have 10 consultations your first time before somebody says yes, right? So just know that you're not going to sell every person. Every dress in the dress shop is not meant for every person, okay? So you need to have more than one person to sell to, and you need to expect that your offer is not right for everybody. I want to mention that there are 4 months left in 2026, 4.5 with August. But that is mind blowing. So you may have started the year out with a big idea about starting your business or about getting your business off the ground. And you might still be sitting here wondering, what am I doing? Like, I still am not sure what I'm doing. I think that's a reality check time of what am I going to do to make this work? One of the questions that to me is obvious, but not so obvious to everyone else is if you need to get 5 clients, if your goal was to be working with 5 clients, the question is, how do you get 5 clients? What do you have to do? Like I always say, how much marketing or how many people do you think you need to talk to? If you were relying on social media, how many social media posts do you need to make to get 5 clients? How many people do you have to talk to get 5 clients to say yes to you? Just put it into perspective so you know it's not a one-to-one. So whatever marketing that you're doing to sell the offer, how many times a month or per week are you going to do that? If we're really going to have a business, we have to really think about it like a business. What really matters is, does anybody even know that you have an offer? Have you told anyone? Are you marketing your business? So chances are you have questions about your niche. You have questions about, I don't actually know where to even find my people. Pricing is always a question. Social media, people who are posting on social media, they say to us, like, do you think that sounds okay? Is that good? I'm learning TikTok right now. And people are always like, I'm not going to dance on TikTok. Guess what? I've not danced on TikTok either. Social media and all the marketing can be as easy as you want it to be once you learn how to do it. It's the key piece. If you know your niche and you know where to market and you know where to price, you're in pretty good shape. Getting clients is a skill that I believe is learned once. This is the one thing we focus so much on as coaches of learning the skill of coaching, but you do need to learn how to have an online business. So I really want you to be specific about learning how to be an online coach really one time. You want to be able to build your business in a way where you look like a professional. This is a key piece to know how to talk about your business without talking for 10 minutes. You have 1 minute to get somebody's attention. That's it. And then knowing your offer is good, your pricing, and then tech. There is some tech that is required, but I will tell you, interestingly enough, there's very little tech compared to what you think you need to have. The online space has sold you the idea that you got to have a complicated tech setup and you need to subscribe to this and to that. The tech that we teach our clients is less than $100 a month. And I would say you could start your business with zero tech because we could all have a conversation with somebody and we could all have somebody pay us cash or write us a check and we could go meet them at the coffee shop and coach them. We could do all of that with zero tech. So you can make it as easy or as complicated as you want it to be.